the intelligence community is facing yet another shocking scandal. Hundreds of NSA staff involved in an explicit sex chat scandal exposed. But that's not all. A treasonous CIA leak is making headlines, and former Trump Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, is stepping in to take action. Who is responsible? How deep does this go? Let's break it all down. Tulsi Gabbard went on Fox News to address a scandal so outrageous that it raises serious concerns about the integrity of our intelligence agencies. Hundreds of NSA employees engaged in inappropriate conversations on official platforms, behavior that should have never happened within a government agency responsible for national security. Journalist Rufo, who first exposed this, shared his findings on the Ben Shapiro show.
But Intel doesn't like being told what to do. When they saw Musk with the chainsaw doging foreign aid, they started leaking to CNN. If you doge us, there will be consequences. On the CIA's 7th floor, home to top leadership, some officers are also quietly discussing how mass firings and the buyouts already offered to staff risk creating a group of disgruntled former employees who might be motivated to take what they know to a foreign intelligence service. The CIA is telling CNN that if their funding gets cut, they're going to sell state secrets to Russia. Who the hell hired these Benedict Arnolds? The CIA is supposed to be filled with patriots, not sellouts. And the FBI is up to no good, too. Michael Schellenberger is reporting a source inside the FBI says the Bureau is destroying evidence. Now we know what their accomplishments were last.
He revealed that this isn't just about a sex chat scandal. It's a symptom of a much deeper issue within the NSA. These individuals, placed within the agency through controversial hiring practices, hold significant power over surveillance and intelligence. If they are compromised in this way, what else could be happening behind closed doors? And if that wasn't enough, Jesse Waters just exposed a shocking CIA leak that many are calling treasonous.
These are intelligence officials that should, in theory, be focused on foreign adversaries, but they are very concerned about domestic politics. And so it's not just about their hormones, their genital surgeries. They have vitriolic feelings towards conservatives in particular. Two names that came up, of course, were Chaya Raichik of Libs of TikTok fame and the one and only Ben Shapiro. And they were going ballistic. I mean, they said at one point that you should be expelled for the tribe for constantly spouting hate speech. I'm not a rabbi. I don't know exactly how that works, but my impression is that the NSA does not have that power. That's something of an overreach, and it's frankly quite absurd.
So the CIA has already come out and said that they're going to look into this. What do you expect the outcome of this is going to be? I mean, the NSA has incredible powers to look into all sorts of information, foreign as well as domestic. We've had a bunch of scandals involving the NSA actually targeting people domestically before. What do you think is going to be the outcome of all of this?
Well, the Trump administration is very concerned about this. And just in the last few hours, I can tell you that I've had phone calls and signal messages from not only the NSA, but the CIA and the Director of National Intelligence Staff. And so they want to get to the bottom of this. I'm told that they're going to be taking significant action. And in my view, the standard should be quite simple. If you were at any private corporation, if you worked at Microsoft or you worked at Boeing or ExxonMobil, if you were doing this in the work chat, you would be packed up and gone within hours. The same standard should be applied here. And in fact, it should be even a more stringent standard, because revealing these personal details, these gory situations, not only is inappropriate at work, but it creates a counterintelligence vulnerability that we know China, Russia, Iran, and other countries would love to exploit.
When Joe Biden said that equity was going to dictate all policy throughout these federal agencies, he was not joking. And that is reflected in this kind of insanity at the staffing level.
That's exactly right. And all of these chats that were extremely graphic in nature were legitimized and considered part of the DEI programs. And so the left wants to play this Mott and Bailey game, this hard debate, easy debate game, where they say, you know, you have to protect people's identity. They just want to have trans people have the right to exist, all of these euphemisms that they use. But under the surface, this is what's happening in practice. And the Biden administration officials were either complicit it or they were too afraid to actually shut this down. I'm told that under Tulsi Gabbard, these chats have been shut down. They aren't going to occur moving forward. But the problem is quite deep because between the Obama administration and then the Biden administration, you have a huge sweep of time in which left-wing gender activists seemingly have hijacked not just Department of Education or Department of Environmental Protection, but in fact, the core agencies of our national security apparatus. This should be a 5-alarm fire for policymakers. It creates a huge vulnerability in addition to the simple ideological problems that are obvious to all.
Sensitive intelligence was leaked in a way that could jeopardize national security. Who is responsible? And why is there no accountability? Tulsi Gabbard isn't staying silent. She has already begun taking action, calling for accountability and exposing how deeply these issues run. She warns that the real threat isn't just the scandal itself, but the people behind it.
Well, Jesse, what we're going to do has already been done. There are over 100 people from across the intelligence community that contributed to and participated in this, what is really just an egregious violation of trust. What to speak of like basic rules and standards around professionalism. I put out a directive today that they all will be terminated and their security clearances will be revoked. But the thing here, Jesse, is like we got to take a step back because this is just barely scratching the surface. When you see what these people were saying, and thanks to Chris Rufo for putting it all out online, they were brazen in using an NSA platform intended for professional use to conduct this kind of really horrific behavior. And they were brazen in doing this because when was the last time anyone was really held accountable? Certainly not over the last 4 years, certainly not over the last 10, maybe 20 years. When we look at some of the biggest violations of the American people's trust in the intelligence community. So today's action in holding these individuals accountable is just the beginning of what we're seeing across the Trump administration, which is carrying out the mandate the American people gave him. Clean house, root out that rot and corruption and weaponization and politicization, so we can start to rebuild that trust in these institutions that are charged with an important mission of serving the American people, ensuring our safety, security, and freedom.
Many of these individuals, backed by the Obama and Biden administration's diversity, equity, and inclusion hiring policies, hold key positions within the NSA, CIA, and FBI. Think about it. These are the people controlling America's most powerful intelligence agencies, and they see anyone with conservative values as a threat. That means ordinary Americans, journalists, and even politicians who disagree with their ideology could be targeted under the guise of domestic threats. This isn't just about one scandal. It's about a system that has been corrupted for years. And finally, people like Tulsi Gabbard, Elon Musk, J.D. Vance, and others are taking action. But will they succeed? Or will the deep state cover it up once again? The American people deserve answers. They deserve accountability. And they deserve leaders who will stand up against corruption. We'll keep bringing you the truth. Make sure to subscribe and stay informed because this story is far from over. If you found this video valuable, make sure to subscribe for more breaking news and analysis. Stay aware, stay informed, and as always, fight for the truth.